Is cancer hereditary or acquired during one's lifetime? Which genes lead to cancer? Can we fix them with gene therapy? We will try to answer these and similar questions in today's episode of the series Secrets of Genes, in which I welcome you. My name is Eduard Kejnovsky, and I work as a geneticist at the Institute of Biophysics of the Czech Academy of Sciences. Over the course of the last several years, there has been a growing amount of discussion and conversation about the fact that some malignant tumors can be passed down through family genetics. You may have likely heard about specific genetic markers that significantly elevate the overall risk of developing breast, colon, or even prostate cancer. The field of genetics is thus moving away from being an abstract science and is becoming more deeply integrated into our everyday life, including prevention, diagnosis, and clinical treatment. But first, it is important to clarify one thing. Cancer is actually an imprecise, simplified term. The correct term we should use is tumor diseases. There is not just one cancer, but approximately 200 different diseases. And they are always diseases of our genes. Cancer arises when cells begin to divide uncontrollably. Normally, cell division is very strictly regulated. Every cell has an internal program that tells it when to divide, when to stop, and when, if it is damaged, to undergo programmed cell death, known as apoptosis. However, if the DNA is damaged, this program can malfunction, the cell escapes control, and begins to multiply regardless of the needs of the organism. There are two types of mutations that cause cancer. The first are inherited mutations. These are present in all the cells of the body from the very beginning of life. They are passed down through generations. The second type are mutations acquired during life, known as somatic mutations. These arise in individual cells, for example, due to smoking, ultraviolet or ionizing radiation, chemicals, or simply errors during DNA replication. These changes end with our bodies and are not passed on to offspring. Most tumors are not hereditary. They are the result of mutations that we have acquired during our lifetime. Only about 5 to 10% of tumors arise from inherited genetic predisposition. These mutations allow for early detection of the disease. So, which genes are key to the development of tumors? Simply put, we can divide them into two main groups. I already talked about them in the 99th episode of our series. The first group consists of so-called proto-oncogenes. These are normal genes that, in a healthy cell, support its growth and division. However, if they are altered by mutation into oncogenes, they start forcing the cell to divide continuously. We can imagine it like a stuck gas pedal in a car, where the speed increases and an accident is only a matter of time. A typical example is the RAS gene, which is mutated in many tumors. The second group consists of tumor suppressor genes. These, on the contrary, function as, let's say, a brake. They control the cell cycle, repair DNA, and in case of serious damage, trigger apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. If these genes are damaged, the brake stops working. The car speeds out of control. The best known tumor suppressor gene is p53, often referred to as the guardian of the genome. This gene monitors the state of DNA and determines the fate of the cell. It is mutated in about half of all tumors. Interestingly, different mutations in different parts of this gene lead to different types of tumors and also to varying responses to treatment. That is why genetic testing is now becoming a part of modern oncology. Based on the specific mutation, doctors can choose targeted therapy. The BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes have also attracted significant public attention. Women who carry certain mutations in these genes have a significantly increased risk of breast and ovarian cancer, somewhere between 60 and 80%, which does not mean certainty of developing the disease, but only a higher probability. Thanks to genetic testing, carriers can undergo more frequent checkups or preventive procedures, thereby significantly reducing this risk. And it is precisely here that a fascinating future opens up. Some tumors are indeed caused by a single key gene. Modern medicine already uses gene and cell therapy today. And in the future, we may be able to repair or replace certain damaged genes. The complex nature of cancer could thus become a condition that we not only actively treat, but also effectively prevent, at the very fundamental level of DNA itself. So perhaps the time is coming when oncology will shift from fighting tumors to caring for our genome, for our genes. That's all for today. We've discussed a few interesting facts from genetics, specifically about the heredity of cancer. In the next episode, we'll continue with more fascinating questions about genetics and evolution. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and if you enjoy my storytelling, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription to my channel. I truly value your support. Thank you and bye-bye.